March of 2012, we traveled to Australia for Earthducation Expedition 3. We explored the intersection of education and sustainability throughout this vast continent. We traveled over 5,000 miles by car, plane, and boat, and captured more than 20 hours of video, over 500 gigabytes of data, and interviewed over 40 individuals. After arriving in Sydney, we flew north to Elcho Island and visited Galawinku, the largest Arnhem Land Aboriginal community. We first interviewed Ralph Marayumba Garawura, a senior ranger on Elcho Island.
My goal is to bring those two worlds and put them in the balance, and to see the young ones to learn to have skills in both cultures.
Our host on the island was Brian Hughes, principal of Shepperton College, the local K-12 community education center.
We'll actually employ the clan leaders to come into school and not take classes of kids out, but take kids that belong to their own clan out and teach them traditional fishing as well as normal fishing. So that sustainable type concept of work that is unpaid, but you take fish home to your family. So in a sense, it's just another form of payment.
We then flew to Cairns and traveled south to Charters Towers to visit a cattle ranch owned and operated by Roger Landsberg. Roger provided insight into his sustainable approach to grazing that is being researched and adopted by others in the area.
To be able to do the best you can with that, not only for the sake of the environment or the animals or native animals that live there or the native ecosystem, but then be able to get a living out of that and then make a good living without detriment to the landscape. That's what it means to me. I think that makes me feel proud, and it's something that I try to instill in my kids and anyone who comes here.
Before leaving Queensland, we visited the Great Barrier Reef, where we explored the significance of using a world-renowned tourist attraction to provide education and awareness on protecting the environment.
We're on the Great Barrier Reef. Now we're in the furthest point out on the Great Barrier Reef toward the continental shelf off Cairns. Let's sort of try and educate people a little bit about the environment out here. So pretty much the education is all about not only preserving the reef, but preserving human life as well.
While in Australia, we discovered a strong connection between the environment, community, education, and the economy. Whether it's ranching, ecotourism, or cultural and educational advancement, sustainability is a critical element throughout Australia. These stories and more can be found at earthducation.com.